Hey guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Sorry I'm so late. Overslept. Thank you, Fozzie, for calling. Fozzie got me up. BJ, I hope you're doing well. I see we lost someone because we're so late. Hold on, I have to say sorry to them personally because they have to go. They're gonna miss it all. Sandra, I'm sorry I'm so late. All right. I got one of the commenters is from Dakota, and I can't remember if it's South or North. I can't. So I promised I would get them a clip. I got them a clip, and I don't know. I think this crime right here should be like harshly punished. Oh, thanks, Donald. I just think that this is just a bad crime. Like you can't do this. You can't do it. So we're gonna go to Minnehaha. I love going to Minnehaha. Even though I swear this judge says Minnehaha. Minnehaha. Maybe I don't know, maybe they just shorten it because the person in the comments, I can't remember who it was, they said, no, it's Minnehaha. It's Minnehaha. But the judge says Minnehaha. All right.
Michelle Thomas appearing with Sean James Montgomery.
All right, it looks like Mr. Montgomery has two cases. Those are file numbers 24-4474 and 24-5703. Ms. Fulton is here for the state, Ms. Thomas for the defense. And sir, how do you say your first name again?
Sean James.
Sean James Montgomery, is that you, sir?
Yeah.
Could you hear and understand when I explain your rights?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about that explanation?
No.
So, Ms. Thomas, do you have copies of his indictment and part 2 information in each of these cases?
We do, Judge.
So we'll go through those one at a time, sir. Your indictment in the case that's 24-4474 charges you with one felony. That's a charge that on or about June 4, 2024, you engaged in conduct that led the state to charge you with witness tampering, trying to get someone to absent themselves from a court proceeding. That's a class 4 felony and can have a maximum sentence of up to 10 years in prison and a $20,000 fine. Do you believe you understand the nature of that charge and its maximum potential sentence, sir?
Yeah.
Now, it could be impacted by your Part 2 information. If you were convicted of that felony and also convicted of the Part 2 information, the Part 2 information would enhance the maximum length of time you could receive for that felony from 10 years up to 25 years in prison and a $50,000 fine. The Part 2 information lists 3.
See, like he was preventing people from coming to court to testify against him. And, he was going all out. That should be like, I don't know.
Prior convictions and writes them out as for possession of a controlled substance in Minnehaha County with the date of October 5, 2022, for felony failure to appear in Lincoln County with the date of May 18, 2021, and for unauthorized ingestion of a controlled substance in Minnehaha County, also with the date of June 6, 2019. Do you believe you understand the impact of the Part 2 information on that charge, sir?
Yeah.
I'll enter a not guilty plea on his behalf to all charges and matters in that case. And then we'd look at the other case, sir, which is 24-5703. In that case, you're charged with one felony. There are co-defendants that are charged with other things, but you have one felony charge and a couple of misdemeanor charges. The felony charge is that on or about August 7, 2024, the state believes you engaged in conduct that led it to charge you with unauthorized possession of a controlled substance on Schedule 2 methamphetamine. That's count 3 of the indictment. That's a class 5 felony, and the maximum sentence somebody could receive in South Dakota if they get convicted of a class 5 felony is up to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Do you understand that charge and its maximum potential sentence, sir?
Yeah.
I'll enter not guilty plea on his behalf to that, but then it could be impacted by your Part 2 information. This Part 2 information in that case lists the exact same priors as the other case, but I think for the sake of the record, I should go through them. It's describing them as possession of a controlled substance in Minnehaha County with the date of October 5, 2022, felony failure to appear in Lincoln County with the date of May 18, 2021, and ingesting in Minnehaha County with the date of September 17, 2018. So it lists it with a different date. Do you if the state proved that possession of meth charge against you and prove that Part 2 information against you, the impact of the Part 2 information is to enhance the maximum length on the possession charge from 5 years and a $10,000 fine up to a max of 15 years in prison and a $30,000 fine. Do you understand the impact of that Part 2 information on your current charge in that case, sir?
Yeah.
I'll enter.
You're okay. It's fine. It was just her recording.
Not guilty plea
There
on
we
his
go.
behalf to all charges and matters in this case. He'll be on the same scheduling order for both of these matters. It looks like it may be before Judge Sabers by rotation, but he's got co-defendants in the possession charge, co-defendant Alual and Hoisington, and I don't know who they are in front of.
I don't think they've been assigned yet, Judge.
I don't.
It was just indicted this past Thursday, and I think Sean Thames is the only one in custody on it.
So it looks like they should both go before Sabers.
That's fine.
By rotation number, unless somebody tells me a reason not to.
No, Judge.
I see my numbers, Judge, in front of Your Honor, but maybe
That's what?
in front of Judge Hanson is
Well,
what.
one of them is before me and the other one's before Sabers.
Oh,
It doesn't matter
So no-
to me. I mean,
So I thought we should set them both before the same judge. So the earlier
that would
number is
make
Sabers.
sense.
yes.
That's fine, Judge.
Thank you.
So if this is before Sabers, do we know who the state will assign?
If it is, so, sorry, just,
Nope, that's okay.
so ending in 4474, it would be Mr. Lougheed's. And then the other case ending in 5703 would be Mr. Jensen's.
Jensen, did you say?
Jensen, yes.
Ms. Thomas, are both these going to be your cases?
They are, Judge.
Okay. So, Mr. Montgomery, this is your scheduling order, and like you may have heard me telling other folks, just please make sure you stay in touch with Ms. Thomas. So one, she can defend you in your cases against these charges. And two, you don't somehow get a warrant or a charge on you in these cases for not going to court or losing contact with your attorney. Do you need to address bond?
We would like to, Judge.
1 minute, please. Let me get started on that.
Citizens, I know it's so scary. We are all thinking about you. Come into Discord if you have to talk or vent or whatever. We're all here.
Okay, now I'm finally ready.
Thank you, Judge. You're on the bond in 24-4474 is currently set at $2,500 cash. The bond in 24-5703 is currently set at $1,000 cash. I am asking the court to consider reducing each of these to PR bonds. With respect to the facts in the case involving the controlled substance, the allegation is that Sean Thames was driving to basically the co-defendant's address, and there was officers following him because they knew he had a warrant out of the other case. They watched him go into the building and saw which apartment he went into. Basically, they went and they confronted the occupants of the apartment when the door was finally open. They found drugs in the apartment, but not on Sean Thames himself. And so they didn't obviously charge him with the felony keeping a place where drugs are used, kept, or sold. With respect to the witness tampering case, the allegation is that sometime in early June, there was a gentleman who was incarcerated in the jail who made a phone call to a number that the detective believed belonged to Sean Thames, basically asking that person to help them out in getting, I think, the complaining witness in that case to not come to court. The complaining witness reported that air had been let out of her tires. Not that they'd been damaged, just that the air had been let out. Sean Thames is currently on parole. He does have a parole hold. He paroled out in January 2024 from the controlled substance case from 2022. He paroled immediately to the Arch. He lived there for over 3 months and was successful in that program. When he was discharged from the Arch, he was living with his grandmother here in town. At the time of his arrest here, he was working at Slim Chickens full time. He had been reporting to his parole agent until about mid-July and had been passing all.
Christy, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but inquiring minds want to know. Slim Chickens. Is that good? Do we need one here in Pennsylvania? Is that like better than other chicken places or not so good? Inquiring minds have to know the answer to this question. It's important. It's critical.
Of his UAs. I did speak with Sean Thames's parole agent, Josh Culm, last week, who indicated to me that they are filing a violation. So is released on these cases, he's going to go back up to the penitentiary to face the violation there. My guess is he'll have to sit another 4 to 6 months up there before he goes back before the board to see if he's paroled back out. So given the fact that he's not actually going to be released from custody, they are definitely going to violate him. I'm asking the court to consider PR bonds on these cases.
Can I hear the state's response, please?
Yes, Your Honor. So out of CRI 244474, state is requesting that bond remain. State originally asked for $10,000 cash only with the conditions of the no contacts. Defendant here is alleged to have let the air out of all 4 of Ms. Kemp's tires in an effort to prevent her from testifying at grand jury in a matter involving Marcel Caldwell, where he shot another man. Caldwell's jail phone calls documents that the two spoke on numerous occasions. Caldwell and defendant spoke 3 more times while defendant was on his way to Ms. Kemp's home. Then at 11:11 p.m., Caldwell called defendant twice. First phone call, loud noise like blowing air was audible on the line. Call ended. Caldwell calls back. Same loud air noise is heard. About 40 seconds. This defendant then goes on and says, "Don't you hear this?" And then the loud air noise is heard again. Defendant got off the call saying mission complete. Bond here is necessary because this is, in fact, the second incident of witness tampering involving Mr. Caldwell's case. Previously, Caldwell employed a third party to text Ms. Kemp threatening messages. Now he sent someone to her home to disable her vehicle. Moreover, this defendant has ran from police yesterday, had previously, knowing that he had this tampering warrant out for him. Law enforcement found a 31-round handgun extended magazine with ammo in it in the path that he ran, hid in an apartment. When law enforcement found him, refused to come out for 45 minutes. Law enforcement entered the apartment he was hiding in, found a 9mm handgun, ammo, baggie of meth, drug paraphernalia. This defendant has a criminal history that's worth noting. PCS contributing to minor abuse of a minor and a DWI in 2022, unauthorized use of a vehicle 2022, obstructing law enforcement 2022, 2 domestic BPOs in 2021, felony failure to appear 2021, domestic violation of condition of bond 2019, felony ingesting 2018. The charge here is serious. This defendant attempted to intimidate a witness and interfere in the administration of justice, and it's plain from his history, by his convictions of BPOs and violating conditions of bond, that he does not comply with conditions. We are at risk. As such, we would ask that bond remain in that case. To the extent, we're also asking bond for the other case, Your Honor. Depending on whether a bond will be issued here.
May I respond briefly, Judge? Your Honor, obviously in 24-5703, Sean Thames isn't charged with being in possession of a firearm. He's I don't think there's any evidence to connect him to the firearm that was found in the apartment.
So out of everything she says is, wait a second, that wasn't his gun.
Clearly, they didn't charge him with the other firearm that they saw. That they said they believed he may have dropped on his way into the apartment building. And none of the allegations in the witness tampering case involve any threats of violence or use of force. Frankly, the way the statute reads, it looks like the person who should be charged with witness tampering is Mr. Caldwell, not Sean Thames. I'm not even sure that the language that this is charged under fits what Sean Thames is alleged to have done. And so I find it interesting that the state even charged him with the witness tampering.
I don't know, but does he look like he has his own apartment?
Because I think the language certainly fits better for the allegation that Mr. Caldwell was the one who was tampering with a witness. But all of it comes down to the fact that Sean Thames isn't getting out of custody if the court PRs him on this. He's going back up to the penitentiary to serve out a violation. So he will be in custody for at least 4 to 6 more months.
Okay, thank you. When the court addresses bond, the primary considerations for the court include whether someone presents as potential danger to the community and potential flight risk. I understand the arguments that everybody is making in these matters. I do believe when I consider all of this together, along with the fact that he has a public safety assessment of 4 for failure to appear scale and 5 on new criminal activity scale, it would be appropriate that in each of these cases, he be released on a personal recognizance bond, recognizing that he's sitting on a parole hold, so he will not be immediately released on his own freedom. But the conditions of his PR bond will include good behavior, stay in contact with your attorney, make all your court appearances. In the case that is 24-4474, there's an added no contact requirement with either or both Curtie, Kritie, Kemp, Kemp, and Marcel, Marcell, Caldwell, alleged to be victims and or witnesses. In both cases, no weapons, no alcohol, comply with parole, no driving without valid license and insurance, no drugs without a valid prescription. And I think you've got to be well aware, Mr. Montgomery, that the state monitors and tapes your phone calls. So while you're incarcerated, don't be asking people to do things because the state will just listen to it and charge you. But I wish you good luck, sir.
Yep, when he heard I was going to play this clip, he let all the air out of my tires too. But unfortunately, 2 things. I always drive around with low air in my tires. That's nothing new for me. And number 2, I don't drive to work. I come downstairs. So foiled again, sir. Okay. Now we're going to go to Georgia to a mother who is suing her daughter. Yep. And her daughter has issues with this. Her daughter just doesn't like it. We need to hear more about South Dakota. South Dakota, because we don't know anything about, I don't know anything about South Dakota. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They do that here too. All right, let's go to Georgia. Oh, that's loud.
So we're not talking about trees, right?
No, we are not.
Listen, he just said we're not talking about trees, right? And that's because this is right after that case I was telling you about with this tree that these neighbors are fighting over. I want to play this video, but again, it's just so long. They keep repeating themselves, but it is really good. So I'm gonna have to edit that and take out like 95% of the video and just try to keep in the good parts. But every time they repeat themselves, they add something that's really good. So it's hard not to like. I don't know if you can hear in the background. He's trying so hard to be quiet because I'm so late. I'm bumping into my son's schedule, and he's in the middle of a full tournament right now in Overwatch, which is normally extremely loud, screaming, pounding, and he's just trying so hard to be quiet for me. Yeah, that's my boy.
All right. Plaintiff counsel, if you start for me, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much. This basically is a dispossessory action in which my client, Renee Downs, owns property. And the evidence will show that she owns the property outright. She used to own it as joint tenants with right of survivorship with her former husband, Charles C. Downs Jr., who passed away. And subsequent to him passing away, she came to me and we did an affidavit concerning death of a joint tenant, which we also recorded in the Dawson County real estate records, basically giving notice to the world that full fee simple title now rested in the person of Renee Downs as a result of the death of her late husband. So she's the sole owner of this property. She has been basically letting her daughter live in this property for quite some time, rent-free, as I understand, no rent.
Rent-free, of course. But the biggest question is, Christy, like what's the food? So, everybody has a favorite food in their state, in their city, in their town. What's the good food in South Dakota, or are you in North Dakota, or whichever Dakota you're in? What are you guys known for?
And Ms. Downs is suffering from some health issues and health problems, and it appears as though she's going to need to move into an assisted living facility and get some help with her day-to-day living. She's just not able anymore to live on her own. To get funds for this, she needs to sell this property. And she currently has a realtor working on it with her. And they want to get the property sold so that she can use these funds to pay for her maintenance, upkeep, and mostly for this assisted living facility that she's needing to move into. I noticed there's a counterclaim on this for $11,000, wherein the defendant is claiming that she's being forced to sell her part of the property. Let me tell you where that's coming from. Sometime ago, Ms. Downs here had, and I don't know the nature of the agreement.
I would go to jail.
Written agreement. I haven't seen any kind of contract whatsoever. But she entered into some kind of agreement telling her daughter that she would give her an acre of land. And now this is a 5-acre tract we're talking about. And the house sort of sits in the middle. It's got acreage in front of it, acreage behind it. And she had told her daughter that she would, give her an acre of land. However, there was no deed ever done. There was no formal contract ever written up. And again, no deed recorded conveying any kind of acre, showing where that acre was surveyed out, what part of the land that acre would come from. Nothing related to that ever recorded. As far as the title records, and any title examiner that goes in and does a title exam on this property, all they're going to see is the last recorded document is this affidavit concerning death of a joint tenant whereby her husband died, leaving her full fee simple title owner. And I'll even go in a little bit further into the evidence, but as an incentive to try to get her daughter out of this property, they even offered at one point to bring in some dumpsters because the house is a mess. It needs to be cleaned out. The property is a mess, needs to be cleaned out. To bring in some dumpsters to help get rid of some of this stuff. Also, they even approached her and said, look, if you'll just move out and get out of the house, when we sell this property, we'll give you $5,000 just to help you on your way so that you can go on and, rent somewhere else or go wherever you're going to go. We'll give you $5,000 just to help us along here, move out so we can get the ball rolling on this. She turned that down and said, no, not moving, going to stay here. They went back with her with several counter offers. Everything they'd go to her with, she rejected it. Said, no, she's not leaving the property. Again, she's staying there rent free. So I finally advised my clients to send a 60-day letter, which they did, and I've got copies of. They sent it to her residence address and to her work address to make sure that she got it. Of course, one of the legal things involved here, which may help the court in making its
Take care of
decision,
yourself, citizen.
I'm sure Your Honor is probably well aware of, is the statute of frauds. And in Georgia, a contract for the sale of real estate, specifically named in the statute of frauds, contract for the sale of real estate must be in writing and meet all the standards of a contract to be legally enforceable, or else it's violative of the statute of frauds. Again, we have no contract here, nothing that would hold that up to where it wouldn't be in violation of the statute of frauds. And we believe that's what the evidence will show. And at the end of this, we'll be asking for a dispossessory action in favor of the plaintiff against her daughter. Thank you.
I'll go ahead and take a copy of the 60-day letter if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. And there's two of them here, Your Honor. One is because it was sent to the address of her workplace. The other one has the address of her residence.
All right, Ms. Watley, your side of the story.
Okay. My stepfather, of whom owned the property with my mother, he became very sick. He had a leg amputation. At that point in time, my stepsisters were going to move my stepfather there with them. My mother begged me to come home so that they were not separated. And in that time, I took care of my stepfather. Now, when my stepfather passed away, I specifically sat down with my mom and I said, Mom, this is a chance for you to decide where you want to go going forward. What, if you want to travel, if you, just whatever you want to do. I said, just think about it and decide. And at that point, she, for my birthday, gifted me an acre because she said, I want you to always have a safe place. And that was Trump time. Okay. There was plenty of money flowing in every direction. I had the opportunity to purchase a home of my own. The reason that the property is a mess is because I had purchased a lot of things to build a home. When it came time for the contracts that they're talking about, I said, can I please keep my acre? It's the only safety I have. The world is going to, please excuse but it's going to hell right now. And that's my piece. I did give her plenty of opportunities to just tell me what you want. Now, since that's happened, when she filed an eviction on me, she never contacted me about it. She never told me about it. She actually denied that it even existed. Never gave me the posting of it, nothing. At that point in time, I found out that she had taken a line of credit out in my name. I was not able to get an apartment. I was not able to get a place. I still can't. Both of my cars have gone down. I'm moving by myself, and I was willing to enter into contract. I just asked that they wait for my ex till the end of this month. We were in contract when she did the eviction that she never told me about. We had lunch together. She never even told me about it. I asked if she just wait till the end of the month because I'm looking at a property I was going to find out about on the 27th. And then my ex was going to be available to get the rest of his stuff at the end of this month. And I was never even informed of any of this. So I can't get a new car because my credit is ruined. I cannot get a place because my credit is ruined. And I really just would like to find out how I can protect myself and also her finances be reviewed and her finances managed correctly, because nobody's listening when there's constant. She tells me, I sent all the documentation in earlier of the communication that her and I have had. Just recently, she told me she wanted me to stay. Just recently, she told me she wanted to drop all this. Just recently, she begged me to stay home, said, don't leave your mother. Please don't leave your mother. I'm not trying to just, and I've paid all the groceries. Anytime I come home, I bring her anything she needs. I'll take her anywhere she wants to go. I pay for, money toward the phone bill. I give her money toward anything she needs. I will give her. And I've had my job for 4 years. She's called my job causing problems. And all I've asked is that I just want to keep my acre so I have a safe place in the world. I can't provide for myself because of what's been done to my credit.
Totally.
And that's my issue. I've never said I will not leave your property. I haven't been allowed there on the property. And there's been a million reasons why. And then she denies that accusation was even ever made. And all I'm asking is, I don't have a place to go. I can't move alone with no car. And then I've gotten COVID twice. I've been put in the hospital from it. I literally have been a mental wreck about all this. I hate it that I'm here with my mother right now because I love my mom. And I don't want to even be here with my mom, honestly. And I just wanted to keep one acre because it was a gift to me so that I have a safe place. I don't have a husband. I don't have any family. I'm sorry. I've done the best I could getting everything I can off the property with no vehicle. I paid $70 in Uber just to get here today. And I just paid $200 in Uber 2 days ago to be up there. I've asked for those dumpsters to be delivered. I've had my things thrown away. I've had her own roommate help me dig my things out of the dumpster because they keep throwing my things away. I'm wearing her clothes right now because as soon as they did this eviction, they threw away all my items of clothing. And I can't keep providing for myself at $200 a pop, and I can't get them to even get the dumpsters delivered. They set the date as my birthday. I had the first dumpster completely full by my birthday. I was ready for the next one, and they know that. I asked them over and over to please provide the dumpster. I would, even though I was being forced to do it, I was going to do it. And they would not provide it because I would not sign off the land in its entirety. But none of the things that they said they would do on that contract they're asking me to sign, did they do? She didn't even have her. I hate her friends that were here, Mom. I'll do whatever my mom wants, but I'm just saying, I've done my best. I really have. And
Then go.
If they would just do their part, I'll throw my whole life away in this dumpster that they'll just deliver them. If that's what she wants, if that's what makes her happy, I'll do it. And I'll drop the 10 grand, I'll drop all of it. But it's just to fix my credit from bad decisions that she's made. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Because just a week ago, she was asking me to stay. And was saying that she never did any of this paperwork. And so it's not that I'm forcing myself to stay. I'm not imposing. I was asked to stay. And I just hate that we're here, to be honest. I hate that we're here. And a lot of that was for items that were broken in mine that have been thrown away. like all my dress clothes were thrown away. I have to bring all my laundry. I'm staying at work right now. I sleep at work. I have no vehicle to move. I rented a truck. Somebody dropped the trailer down the side of the mountain. We couldn't get it up for 2 weeks. I'm literally doing the best I can. And I can't even afford to replace the items that they've thrown away. And I just need some clarity. And to be able to get on my feet, that's what the $10,000 was for. But honestly, I don't want to be fighting with my mom. So I don't care. I don't have any options because of what's happened to my credit. And I really would like a way to protect myself, but also her get the financial counseling she needs to secure herself for a future. Because as of right now, up to this point, she's made really bad money decisions. And I'm sorry, Mom, but that's true. And I can't provide for myself based on some of the decisions she's made. But I'll do whatever she wants me to do. Whatever she wants, I'll do.
Just so I have some clarity, who is Ruth Valentine POA?
My aunt and the power of attorney.
That is the plaintiff's aunt who has been helping and assisting her in helping her with this because she's not able to handle it all on her own. So thankfully her aunt has stepped in and assisted with all this.
Well, we were only one mortgage payment behind when she stepped in, and now she's a bankruptcy in and is completely in debt and has almost lost everything. So, and I'm the one who asked my aunt to come on. I'm just saying.
So I've been dealing with the aunt and all this, and the plaintiff, she did get into some financial trouble, and so she had to file a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. She's on a payment plan now. I think it's 3 years with the bankruptcy court. And of course, at the end of that, any and all outstanding remaining debt will be discharged under the bankruptcy court. But that's where that stands. And I can call Ruth Valentine to the stand. She could shed a lot more light on this if you wish, Your Honor.
I don't think it's necessary.
Can we get a mediator, me and my mom? Like, can we get a third party just to sit down for her and I to make a decision together? That's all I've asked the whole time.
The only thing that I can do today is allow for you to step out with the attorney and have a discussion and see if there's any sort of middle ground that y'all can meet. Otherwise, my job is to be the mediator and kind of fill that role. But it's more of a binding role that just follows the law rather than emotions.
Well, if we can't find a medium ground, I would like to proceed with doing what I have to do to fix my credit and to replace all the items that have been trashed of mine.
So the only thing I'll do is there any sort of middle ground?
If she's willing to voluntarily vacate the property and allow the dispossessory to go through and vacate the property, I mean, we can do that. But we've got to get her out because this property's got to be cleaned up before it can be sold.
That's not a middle ground.
And the realtor has already said that, we're not going to be able to sell it and get top dollar for it without it being cleaned up. It is such a mess.
But on the June 18th was the deadline, and I had the first dumpster completely full, and I requested the second dumpster be brought several times over and over. I sent the information to him. He probably will see the messages. I've asked for those dumpsters to be delivered. I'm not keeping that property in any form or fashion. But I've spent a lot of money trying to get it fixed and have several times been up to that property and sat there and waited for it at $200 a pop and missed work. That's not a middle ground.
Well, if we go through a voluntary leave, is there a deadline that you're looking at particularly?
Could I have a few moments to consult with my client? Okay.
Mom, don't you want to talk? Like, are you really, me and my mom want to talk. And you can ask her yourself. Me and her want to talk. This is
No,
ridiculous.
she does not.
She's even saying the same thing. It's ridiculous. My credit drops from 750 to 425. I can't get anything with a 425. I had a perfect credit score.
She's already had 60 days notice. 30. We've changed the times. Keep delaying it. We keep moving the dates. You're just going on and on. That's 60. Yeah.
Okay, you sure you wouldn't want to do 30? Don't think 30 would give her time. There's stuff. You want to do 60?
Yes. That's a mistake.
Yeah, I think it is too. I think you ought to do 30. You gotta have this property sold and that realtor is working out the timeline, that contract.
So I'm just not allowed to talk to my mom at all. Is that the case?
I can't.
So,
Can't you ask her? Can't you ask her?
you know,
Can't you ask her?
the realtor is gonna have their hands
I
tied.
gotta let them talk.
Get top dollar for that property when it sells. And the longer you extend out and allow her to be in there, that's gonna be longer than the realtor has access to the property. And you can't put it on the market. To be sold. To be sold. I think you really need to do 30.
Half an hour at that time, yes.
30. And the thing is, 30 would give her ample time. And not only that, but I mean, at the time she's sitting in the property, she did that's more than gracious. And then the realtor can get moving with getting the property listed and sold. Do you think that's good?
Damn it, Bobby.
Your Honor,
You scared me.
and, of course, they've already given the tenant ample time already, but in the spirit of fairness and to extend, the utmost consideration for her daughter, she is willing to give her 30 more days to have everything cleared out and gone within 30 days. She is willing to do that. But
Oh, my mom has opened a lot of lines of credit in my name. My sisters, both of them. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They just signed that. They just signed my name. It's not hard.
she's really got her hands tied beyond that point because of the realtor involved, and they got to get this property listed and on the market. And
Then why didn't you get the dumpsters out there when you said you would? Why didn't y'all deliver the dumpsters when you said that you would?
You should know by now. There's going to be dumpster fires.
That's the
this
truth. It's not me.
I understand that. Let's take this one step at a time. Can we do 30 days?
I want the original contract was the dumpsters get delivered and I get $13.5 per my acre. That was the original agreement. That was what we agreed on. That is what we agreed on.
Your Honor,
And then they fell through with their part of the agreement. They were supposed to have the second dumpster there, and I was going to have it done by the deadline they wanted, which was my birthday. They did not tell me till 2 or 3 weeks after my birthday that they weren't even going to provide the dumpster. I was on their timeline. I did everything the way they wanted me to.
You have any evidence of this?
Absolutely. I sent it earlier. Yes, I did. I sent it. I can show it to you, sir. Yes.
Text message on-
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do.
And Your Honor, we have pictures of a dumpster that they already had delivered over to the property.
And that one was full.
And that was filled up with a bunch of trash.
Right, and the second one was supposed to be delivered and it never was. Why was the second one never delivered?
And Your Honor, it's.
Yeah.
Judge, call the news.
Because you're bullying me.
Please don't bail me out.
the defendant comes in here making demands. Well, it's up to y'all to provide me with a trash receptacle to clean all of my stuff out.
Y'all
It's up
need
to the
demands.
plaintiff to provide me with a dumpster to clean all of my garbage out. It's up to, the plaintiff to help me remove all my stuff and get all my stuff out here. That's not the plaintiff's job.
No, it's
It's the defendant's job
It's not true.
to do that and to get all of her stuff out, to be responsible for getting all of her stuff out, and to bear any cost of removing her stuff from the property, just like any other tenant. And coming in here and making demands that she wants $11,000,
No, I have
wants
it in contract.
dumpsters
I'll show you the
provided,
contract.
wants an acre, deeded over to her and all that. It's just,
No.
it's ridiculous.
I have the contract that they wrote. They made those demands. They are the ones who said that that was what they wanted to do. I never made those demands. And I have it in contract. Yes, sir.
The contract that is signed.
No, because they didn't do any of their part. Nobody did
I
any
don't
of their
know.
part. That's the thing. But they compiled this contract. I didn't ask for any of that stuff. That was their offer.
So I'm gonna stop right here.
Thank you, Christy. Yeah.
So this is the option that you have. The 30 days is a very generous offer.
I would have already had it done, Your Honor. I would have already done it.
I understand that, but I can't at this point.
Can I show you the contract?
If it's not signed, I can't. There's no reason for me to look at it.
But they compiled it.
But there's no signature.
Their real estate agent did it.
Ma'am, Georgia law requires signatures for the written contracts.
Okay.
For statute of frauds purposes when it relates to the sale or conveyance of
Y'all
land.
got me good. Y'all got me good.
Ma'am,
So how do I press charges about my credit, please? How do I go forward with that?
I need you to calm down.
I can't. Those are my lies.
If you can't calm down and you can't stop talking over me.
Thank
then
you
of
so
course,
much. I was late
this
too, but
officer's
just by a
gonna
few
take somewhere
minutes.
else to
Yes, sir.
go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the options that we have are we can take the 30 days and do what we need to do and get out, take anything that you want to take. And then at that point, at the end of the 30 days, if they don't provide the dumpsters to you to get the stuff out, you just leave it and they take care of getting it all taken out and cleaned up.
But it's my mom's items too. My mom left all of her items.
Well, that's for her to figure out what to do with her stuff. You have to worry about your stuff.
Okay.
Okay? So
Okay.
the
Good
option is you can
question.
do that for 30 days,
Yes, sir.
or the other option is if you turn that down.
Thank you,
based upon
Fuzzy. Yeah,
where
just a
I
couple
see
minutes.
Everything today,
Yes, sir.
it's 7 days.
Okay.
Okay? So you want to do 30 or you want to do
Yes,
7?
sir. I'll be gone in 30.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. As to your other concerns related to any sort of financial issues related that you may have any counterclaims or things like that, those are not really here for this dispossessory proceeding.
Got it.
You can go through the sheriff's office. You can work with an attorney to file any additional claims that you may have related to that. But I don't know that you're going to get anywhere with it. Okay.
Okay.
But that's as far as we are. So judgment for plaintiff, and we will stay it for 30 days.
And I can go down to talk to the sheriffs right now. I can go put a police report in right now for the identity theft.
You can go and speak to somebody. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Can I be excused, please?
Once I give you this piece of paper.
Okay, thank you.
And if you take this. There was no money in there, correct? Just possession.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Hi, Lori. See, Fozzie, it's still morning. Sorry, Patty, I overslept a few minutes.
She still has the $11,500
That's, you don't have to. It's up to you. But I promised her that. It's up to you. That's separate.
She's given her $11,000. Did you hear that?
Mom, if you want to speak, Mom, you can talk, Mom, if you want to.
You can if you want to. You can. Just let them grow. Sales cross that bridge. We're not to that point yet.
Mom, do what you want to. If you want to speak, speak, Mom. If you want to speak, speak.
Don't.
See?
No. I got off work and then I started to get my stream together, and then I was making shorts, and I fell with my phone in my hand. I fell asleep making shorts. Wow, that was scary. That was scary because I don't know if y'all remember, but I wanted to play Judge Fleischer on Tuesday because he was GOAT on Tuesday, and my internet completely crashed. And now our internet completely crashed right now. I'm not. Maybe I should not play Judge Fleischer's Tuesday. No, I'm going to. We're gonna push through this. Oh man. All right. It's time for Judge Fleischer. It's time for his Tuesday docket. It was just on point on Tuesday. And Tuesday was so far back, I don't really remember what he said or what he did. I don't remember any of the cases. I just remember when I was there, he was on point. So we're gonna watch it. All right, let's just find the first guy. Here we go.
Is he seriously on two different DWI third probations and has not picked up another case? Akin Pelu.
Judge, he is on probation, as of March 13th. So 6 months into his, yeah, so they probated two DWI thirds.
You made me cry.
And he's already had another DWI third dismissed.
I see. It was dismissed and re-indicted or refiled with the second judge. It was the second. You see on the.
Yeah, okay, I see. Mr. Akin Pelu, you're now charged with driving on a suspended license. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
August 26, 2024, in Harris County, Texas. Officers observed the defendant's vehicle that had a defective back left tail light. The officer then conducted a traffic stop. The officer observed the defendant to be the driver and the sole occupant of the vehicle. The officer asked the defendant for his Texas driver's license, and the defendant gave the officer the driver's license with an expiration date of May 24th, 2024. The officer then ran the defendant's driver's license and found that it was suspended. The defendant's driver's license was suspended from March 14, 2024 to March 12th of 2026. The officer asked the defendant if he was supposed to be driving, and the defendant stated that he was not supposed to.
And he's probably not driving without an interlock. I gotta imagine there's probably a condition on it, on that he's not supposed to drive as is. And they gave you a PR bond? I don't think so. Mr. Akinpelu, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Take a seat for me at the jury box. Let's keep going and then I'll come back to this one. I'm not letting you go. Take a seat for me at the jury box, Mr. Akinpelu. We'll come back to you.
All right, Judge, next is
I need more time on that.
page 9. Fleischer, come on up.
Are you Marco Cuellar?
Sir, yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cuellar, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. Do not afford a lawyer. A lawyer be appointed to represent you, sir. Okay.
On August 26, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was dispatched to a WSS store at 2214 Spencer Highway in reference to a suspicious person who was inside the store wearing possible stolen clothing and putting things in his pockets. Upon arrival, the officer met with the store manager, who observed the defendant waiting for employees to leave the front doors unattended to leave with the items. The defendant left the store with the items and shortly returned back into the store, in which the officer waited for him outside the front door. The officer observed the defendant run out from inside the store with his hands full of merchandise, and the officer attempted to stop him. The defendant then fled the scene to a nearby parking lot. Several Pasadena officers caught the defendant and recovered 4 six-packs of socks and 2 pairs of shoes. The total recovered loss of that the defendant had dropped was valued at $207.98. The officers observed and videotaped the video surveillance footage of the defendant running past all points of sale without paying and out of the front door with body camera.
We're learning
Officers
life
also
lessons.
videotaped the video surveillance footage of the defendant running from police officers in the parking lot.
Okay. Is he on probation or parole at this time? Mr. Cuellar, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to go back to the store. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
How old are you, sir? You're 25 years old. What do you do in life?
Right now, I'm supporting Daughter,
How do you support a 4-year-old? Doing what?
I help her right now in construction, building fences and all that.
How much do you work?
I got work. It depends, like if it rains, we don't work, you know what I'm saying? Cause I do fencing, so if it rains, we don't, it depends how much it rains, you know what I'm saying?
Are you working full-time?
Yeah, full time.
Okay. We're gonna reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm filing these bond conditions on your behalf. Do not pick up any new cases, otherwise I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box. So while we get your bond conditions, we'll have you sign it. Okay. Can you file no going back to the store? No
Sorry for
weapons,
being
please?
late.
And then we'll have you sign a reset. We'll have you just take a seat, have you sign the conditions, and then you'll be free to go. When you come back, have a lawyer, sir. Come on.
All right, Judge Marcos is approaching on page 8. Cruz, come on up.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning.
Hola, Melanie. Victoria. ¿Qué tal, Cayo? Dejen sus cositas ahí, por favor. Pase aquí adelante, hermanito. Aquí al centro, solo mire el juez y le contesta nada más en español. Acérquese más. Saque las manos del bolsillo.
You, Jose Cruz.
Goats,
Mr.
Lewis.
Cruz.
Téngalo,
Sí,
no sea así,
señor.
juez. Ya se baje las manos. Tranquilo. Solo escúchelo. Mírelo a él, pero me escucha a mí.
Okay.
Tranquilo.
You were charged with driving while intoxicated. Please spit the gum out.
Vaya, señor, vaya, bote el chicle. No, perdón, ya está. No, hermanito, acérquese, vamos a intentar de nuevo. Solo mire el juez y contesta nada más en español. Y cualquier pregunta que tenga se la refiere a su licenciado. ¿Ok?
I think it's Fozzie's,
Charged
actually.
with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine because of the high blow. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On August 26, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, a second officer was dispatched to the scene of a major accident. Upon arrival, the second officer made contact with the deputy officer who advised him of 4 record drivers who were pointing towards the defendant's direction. The second officer observed the defendant's vehicle crashed into a light pole with front end damage. The deputy officer observed the defendant walking away, trying to leave the scene. He then made contact with the defendant and asked if he was okay and what happened. The defendant told him, "I am okay," and continued to walk away. After refusing medical treatment and not listening to the deputy's commands, the deputy officer detained him and placed him in the back seat of his patrol car. The deputy officer observed strong odor of alcoholic beverage coming from the defendant's person. The second officer asked the defendant to step out of the deputy officer's patrol car and observed red glossy eyes and a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage from the defendant's breath, and that the defendant was unsteady on his feet. The officer performed standard field sobriety tests and observed 6 out of the 6 clues for the horizontal gaze test, 4 out of 8 clues for a walk and turn, and 3 out of 4 clues for the one leg stance.
Hi,
The defendant was
Lacey.
read his DIC-24 and he consented to a breath sample. The results read 0.161 and 0.152. While at the station, the defendant admitted to drinking 7 to 8 canned beers.
Mr. Cruz, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Are you a United States citizen?
No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Without permission.
What happens if you go to
¿Qué
jail?
pasa si usted va a una cárcel? Immigration will get a hold of me.
You'll be stuck in custody until these cases are over with. You'll be shipped off to immigration.
Se va a enviar a
You'll be
ustedes
sitting in custody for 6 to 9 months at a minimum.
meses mínimos.
If you do not want that to happen, heed this warning.
Puedes gastar
You will not get another one.
dinero.
You were not allowed to drive. And I am now making that a condition of your bond. I don't care what is going on in your life. I don't care what you need, where you have to go, what you have to haul. You drive, you will go to jail for a substantial amount of time. You will be signing a promise with me today that you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, I will hold you in contempt, slap you with 180 days, perhaps less. Regardless, any more than 4 hours in custody, immigration will put a detainer on you. You understand?
Yes.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. You will be randomly tested. If you test positive for drugs or alcohol, likewise, I'll put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you. You have a lawyer.
Tiene un abogado.
It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Marcos. He will tell you when you have to come back to court. If Marcos tells me that you're playing games, not responding to phone calls, text messages, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
¿Entendió?
Okay.
Sí, señor o no, señor?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
For now, I will have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. You will then get to Victoria where you will sign a reset. After that, you'll get with pretrial for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go.
Esta señorita. Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, guys.
Anybody ever notice that sleep is unimportant to Fozzie until he needs it?
My attorney's not here yet, Judge.
Dang it, Kathy.
You did wonderful. I like the way you read
Spanish?
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
the
two
next
more.
one, Judge, there's the Spanish speaker is page 3. Aries, come on up. Rangel.
Arias, come up.
Pase, por favor. Buenos días. Como Luis, el intérprete, mucho gusto. Pase aquí, por favor, en el centro. ¿Usted ya vio cómo es esto?
Sí, dame.
Acérquese aquí. Solo mire el juez y le contesta nada más en español.
Robinson Arias Rangel,
Arias Rangel, ¿es usted?
Sí.
Yes.
you are charged with theft.
Está con hurto, robo.
You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
De $2,000.
We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent.
Silencio.
Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On March 25th,
El 25 de marzo
2024,
2024,
officers
solo
met with a
oficiales se
complainant
encontraron con
who was a
el
loss
gerente que era
prevention
un
officer for
oficial
Amazon,
de
who advised
seguridad
that the
pública para
defendant
Amazon que
was a
informó que
driver
Amazon
for Amazon,
era un
had
chofer para Amazon,
accepted a
había
delivery
aceptado
which included
una
several
entrega
packages.
que incluía
The defendant was
paquetes
observed
o
on
varios paquetes,
video
se le observó en video
loading the packages into his
cargando los
personal
paquetes a su
car,
carro personal,
driving by the delivery
manejando
address,
por el
never
domicilio de
stopping,
entrega, nunca parando
and marking the
y
package
marcando
as
los pagados
missing
como
and
faltando
continuing
y
on.
continuando.
The defendant
El acusado
acknowledged or
reconoció
denied
o
any
negó
knowledge
Go to
of the
jail.
theft.
que
The
reconoció
total
del
value of
hurto, el
merchandise
valor total de
was
la mercancía,
$399.
$399.
Mr. Arias, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
Adelante con su caso.
Are you a United
¿Es
States
ciudadano americano,
citizen?
señor?
No,
No,
Are you in this country with or without permission?
con permiso.
with permission.
What type of
¿Qué tipo
permission
de
do you
permiso
have?
tiene usted, señor?
El
Solo mira el juez, no me mira a mí, no se mueve.
permiso de trabajo.
Work permit.
How long have you been in this country?
¿Cuánto tiempo lleva en este país?
El 3 de diciembre tengo 3 años.
December 3rd will be 3 years.
And your work permit is still valid after all that time?
Sorry, Your Honor.
Your work permit is still valid
¿Y su
after all
permiso,
that time?
su permiso de trabajo aún es válido después de tanto tiempo?
Sí.
Yes.
How long is, when does it expire?
¿Cuándo se le vence?
El año que viene.
Next year.
I'm going to tell you now,
Puedo decir a usted ahora.
criminal cases
Entre
you
más
pick up,
casos criminales usted
higher likelihood you have of them not renewing
no le van a
that work
renovar
visa
ese
for you.
permiso.
Do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes.
Do you have a valid,
¿Usted tiene
do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
su nombre?
¿Cómo seguro?
Seguro de automóvil. Sí. Yes.
I'm ordering you,
Le estoy ordenando
condition of your bond,
condición de
not to have
confianza,
any
que no tengas
contact
ningún
with
contacto
Amazon
con Amazon,
whatsoever.
para nada en absoluto.
We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. You need a lawyer to represent you.
un abogado para que lo represente en esta situación.
I'm gonna have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we will have you take this in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. Do not pick up any new cases.
Un caso nuevo. señor.
Otherwise, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Please.
Hacia allá a la izquierda, por favor.
So can you file no contact with Amazon, please?
There's three more. Your Honor. Lazo, Tugtegudor,
Pretty, and her
y
voice is
Espinosa.
so sweet.
Last part, page 10. Espinosa.
What? Millie, why doesn't Victoria ask me? Why doesn't Victoria ask me if I'm ready for the next one? Buenos
Because
días.
you're good.
She always knows you're ready.
Goat, you are always ready.
Solo mira, voy a decirle contestar nada más en español.
See, Espinosa.
Yes, Espinosa. Yes, sir.
Espinosa, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail.
I had a package come in this morning and a package come in 2 mornings ago that are outstandingly important to me. I needed these things. They're gonna get rid of huge problems for me. And I'm always worried that my packages I will never see when I order because my sister was in the news once. She was the Grinch that stole Christmas because she went around and she stole all the packages off of people's porches right before Christmas. So, yeah, she made the news, but she also gave me PTSD that my packages are just not going to come. I'm never going to see them. I did get my 2 packages. I'm so happy. But people that steal packages, make me mad.
Jail and or a $2,000 fine.
Una multa de $2,000.
We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
Oh, I sure did. Oh, yeah.
2024 in Harris County, Texas. Officers were dispatched to a person down call, where upon arrival, they observed the Houston Fire Department on the scene. The officers observed the defendant's vehicle crash into a parked truck on the side of the street. The officers asked the defendant to step out of the vehicle, and the officers observed a strong odor of alcoholic beverages on the defendant's breath, red glossy eyes, and slurred speech. The defendant was then detained, and the officers performed a high-risk search on him. One officer inspected the defendant's vehicle and observed a red cup in front cup holder with a strong odor of alcoholic beverage.
He's drinking while he's driving?
Bebiendo al manejar, señor? No.
In the back seat, the officer observed a full 12-ounce can of beer unopened. A Spanish-speaking officer was called to the scene, and the Spanish-speaking officer conducted the standard sobriety test. All the tests were conducted, and they showed multiple clues of intoxication. The defendant was then read his DIC 24 in Spanish and was given a breath test where he blew .128 and .132.
Check to see if he has any prior DWIs, any other alcohol contacts. Mr. Espinosa, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Are you a United States citizen?
No. No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Sin permiso.
Con permiso.
With permission.
What type of permission do you have?
Who is your dad?
¿Qué tiene usted? Work permit.
More cases you pick up.
Casos que usted obtenga,
I don't know if you have it or not.
Yo no sé si usted lo tiene o no.
And quite frankly, I don't care.
No importa.
The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to protect my streets. And if I find that you're drinking, getting into a car, drunk, any issues, I'm going to put you in jail. And I'm going to tell you now, if you have alcohol in the car, it is a minimum of 5 days in
Oh my gosh, we have another celebrity in the chat. Donald is your dad. Donald is the best. We absolutely love him. And you get to see him all the time and you get to talk to him. We only get to see him in chat. That's it. Just chat. He travels a lot. Do you ever travel with him? I can't believe that we got Donald's child in here. He talks about you guys all the time. All of the time. Don't listen to Fozzie. Don't listen to anything Fozzie says.
Jail to any sentence that you get.
¿Qué sentencia que
And
ustedes?
I'm going to tell you, if you do anything more than 4 hours in our jail, immigration will put a detainer on you. You will remain in custody until immigration is done with you, meaning you will sit in custody for about 6 to 9 months, waiting for immigration to do whatever they're going to do to you.
¿Usted?
Do you understand?
¿Entendió, señor?
Sí, señor.
Yes,
You
sir.
have a Texas driver license.
¿Es de Texas? No. No.
You are not allowed to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive, and I don't care if Queen Victoria needs a ride to church. You get into a car and drive, you will be doing a substantial amount of time in jail. Likewise, I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You will be randomly tested. If we find that you're consuming alcohol, likewise, you will go into custody. And if you're unlucky enough, you're going to be there for an extremely long time. So heed this warning because you will not get another one.
Get a room.
I will have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. After that, you'll get with Victoria to sign. After that, you'll get with Victoria to sign a recess. After that, you'll get with pre-trial for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. Mr. Espinoza, no more warnings. Any more contacts, we put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bombs. Do you understand? You are on notice now.
Bajo aviso ahora, señor. Yes, sir. Pasa aquí a la izquierda.
Oh, I think Luis leaves now. Oh, come back.
All right, just page 15 and 17. Lazo, come on.
Romaldo, Lasso, Morfin.
But like, we're awesome because of him. He is so smart and he drops these bombs in here that are so funny. He hides under the stairs and he has his McFlurry machine. And he's court vibes. He is one of the main glue that holds us all together every day.
¿Usted, señor?
Yes, yes.
You speak English?
No, no.
Ok, entonces ponlo español. Acérquese ahí, solo mire el juez.
Okay.
Habla nada más en español, por favor.
Sí, está bien. You're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're also charged with failure to stop and give information, which is leaving the scene of an accident without exchanging information. On the DWI, you were facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. On your failure to stop, you were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews. If you're not a FOIA lawyer, a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir. Okay.
On August 25th,
Agosto
2024, officers were dispatched to a major crash in
Oficiales fueron
Harris
despachados
County,
a un choque
Texas.
mayor en el condado de Harris, Texas.
The complainant stated
El
that she
evidente
was
declaró
stopped
que ella
on a
fue
moving lane
detenida
of
en
traffic,
el carril
waiting on a red
movimiento
light,
común.
when
Carril de
all of a
movimiento
sudden,
cuando
her
repentinamente
vehicle was struck from
su vehículo fue
behind
pegado por
by a
detrás
pickup truck
por
that
una
left the location
camioneta que se fue de la
without
localidad
stop.
sin parar.
Complainant number one,
Querellante
after
número
being
uno,
struck by
después
the
de haber
defendant,
sido pegado por el
struck
acusado,
or crashed into
pegó o
complainant
chocó
number
contra,
two.
contra querellante
Complainant
número
number
dos.
two
Querellante
stated
número dos
that she was
declaró
able to
que ella
see
logró ver
a Ford
una
F-150
Ford
with
F-150
front end
con daños
damage
fronterizos,
drive away from the
manejar
location
alejándose de la
without
localidad
attempting to
sin
stop.
intentar
Complainant
parar.
one estimates her
Can I just say really quick? Yes, I can because I control the pause button. Kingsley, when you first came into chat and you said, I think you all know my dad, I was just hoping you were going to say legal fiction. Even though I know you weren't. But that's what I was hoping that you would say, oh, legal fiction's my dad. That would have been epic.
damage to her vehicle as for, yes, as $8,000. Complainant number two estimates the damages to be $17,000. A witness followed the defendant as he called the police. The witness followed the defendant and observed the vehicle swerving between lanes and running red lights until he eventually pulled up and parked. The defendant was observed to have a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, slurred speech, and swaying. The defendant's vehicle was seen to have.
Legal's fine. He has a busy life right now. He's just, doing life. You know how that is.
Front end damage, matching damage as described by the complainant. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. They observed 6 out of 6 clues for the horizontal gaze test, 8 out of 8 clues for walk and turn, and 4 out of 4 clues for the one leg step. The defendant also admitted to drinking alcohol. The defendant admitted to being in a vehicle collision. His DSE was read when he consented to a breath test, into which he blew 1.29 and 1.27.
Can you look up his NCIC to see, does he have any more DWIs outside anywhere else besides just Harris County, please? Mr. Lazo Morfin, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Are you United States citizen?
Residente. Resident.
You have a Texas driver license.
Texas?
No,
No.
ahorita no la tengo.
No, I do not have it right
Tenía
now.
ID.
I have ID.
You are not allowed to drive.
Dejar.
Do you understand?
¿Usted entiende?
Sí.
Yes.
He's signing a document with me today. Mr. Lazo, this is an affidavit. If you drive, I'm telling you now, I will have a.
Hey. Sorry, just, no, we're getting louder and louder.
I will have a contempt hearing as to whether I'm going to hold you in contempt.
Oh, no. We don't just roll on from that. Steven, Luis just told everybody to be quiet. The interpreter just turned around and told everybody to be quiet.
And I will slap you with 180 days in jail every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, señor. Yes.
I'm also going to put an ankle monitor on you so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. You are not allowed to drive any vehicle that's not equipped with an ignition interlock. If you're caught driving anything, so help me. Do you understand?
Entendió, señor.
Sí.
Yes.
You will be randomly tested for drugs and alcohol likewise. If you test positive for dope or alcohol, you will go to jail.
Droga nunca he hecho.
Drugs I've never done.
Judge, I didn't see.
No vi ningún antecedente.
3 days to get this grant. If you can waive the fee as well, please. We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer.
Sí, había llamado uno y no me contestaron.
I've called a few of them. They just haven't answered me. Just
You need to call more.
tiene que
Mr.
llamar.
Lazo, the only thing I want you to understand in this short life that we have, I will do everything in my power to protect every citizen of Harris County. You are not allowed to be on the road driving for whatever reason. You cannot justify driving for any reason. And if I find that you drive, you will be doing a substantial amount of time in jail. Do you understand?
Entiende eso, señor?
Sí,
Yes.
yo entiendo.
I will have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'm giving you 3 days to get the ankle monitor. If you fail to get the ankle monitor, likewise, you will go to jail. Swear to us here. We'll get you to sign a reset with Victoria and then meet with pretrial.
Lena's told us about the Dutch toilet, right? But what Lena's forgot to tell us about, which was way more important, they have this thing where she lives. It starts with an O, and it's a real long name. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because actually I didn't memorize it. I just know it starts with an O. It's a little ball, a little pastry ball with powdered sugar sprinkled on top. Old Fisher singing dough. That's what it is. That apparently is super delicious. Super delicious. And the Dutch get them and nobody else gets them. And I want one. I want one of those O's.
Okay, ready? Got it.
Page 24.
Tejedor.
Tejedor, tejedor. Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenos días, Mike. Ponga sus papeles ahí. Solo mire después y le contesta nada más en español.
That would be
Good
it.
morning, Mr. Tejedor.
Buenos días, señor Tejedor.
So you're charged with assault of a family member, facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Order in the court.
You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Absolutely.
On August 25th,
Several,
2024, law enforcement officers were dispatched to a family disturbance call at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The complainant stated her and the defendant had been drinking in their apartment when they started arguing for a while. The defendant then called her to the restroom. Complainant stated that the defendant closed the restroom door. They both continued arguing when he punched her and scratched her skin on the left side of her chest, leaving a red mark the size of a tennis ball and scratch marks. The complainant stated that the defendant then kicked her in her lower abdomen, causing her heavy lower abdominal pain. The defendant stated that he just wanted her to respect him by not staying out late.
Mr. Tejedor, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Are you a United States citizen?
¿Americano, señor? No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Eso sin permiso.
Estoy sin permiso.
I am without permission.
What happens if you go to
¿Qué
jail?
pasa si usted va a una cárcel?
¿Cómo me explico?
What do you mean? Explain it.
You're not in this country with
Usted
permission.
no está en este país con permiso.
What happens if you go to
¿Qué
jail?
pasa si usted va a una cárcel?
Tengo mi papel de migración aquí en mi izquierda.
Well, I have my immigration papers here with me.
So what?
Importa.
You're not in this country with permission. What happens if you go to jail?
¿Qué pasa si usted va a una cárcel?
No sé qué pasaría con mi vida.
I don't know what would happen with my life.
Immigration sweeps the jail every single day, every couple hours. If they find you in the jail, they will put a detainer on you. You will then be stuck in the jail until first this case is over with, and then you will be shipped off to immigration, and you will sit in immigration custody for about 6 to 9 months, waiting for them to do whatever they're going to do. This is what's going to happen to you if you go to jail over 4 hours. Do you understand?
Yes.
I'm putting conditions on your bond. You violate these conditions, into jail you will go. You will not get any more PR
No
bonds.
recibir ninguna otra fianza personal de parte
The
mía.
reason you got out of jail is because we gave you a PR bond, so you got out before immigration was able to find you. The next time you go, you don't get a PR bond, so you will sit there until someone bonds you out. And if it takes longer than 3 to 4 hours, no getting out.
No va a salir.
You understand?
¿Se entendió, señor?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
A protective order was issued on this case on the 26th of this month. You are not allowed to have contact with Adriana Chirinos Dominguez.
Chirinos Domínguez.
I would suggest you get to know the protective order, because if you violate it, the state will file additional charges against you. As it stands, you're not allowed to have contact with this person. You're not allowed to be in possession of any weapons. You violate these conditions, you know what happens. We will now reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So first, I'm gonna have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go. Do not pick up any new cases. Don't violate these conditions.
Estas condiciones.
No more warnings for you.
Más advertencias para usted. Baje el brazo. May we go, please?
Can you file no contact and no weapons, please?
Judge, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Page 13, Galvan, come on up.
Spanish or English?
English.
Okay. Thanks, Luis. Good job, buddy. Good morning, Mr. Galvan. You're Benito Galvan?
Yes, sir.
So you're charged with failure to stop and give information, which is leaving the scene of an accident without exchanging information. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On August 26, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to the scene from the Gates Wheeler truck driving away from an accident after causing damage to the complainant's personal vehicle. Upon arrival to the scene, officers took the statement of the complainant, the defendant, and witnesses. Stated that he and his grandfather, who's a witness, were traveling eastbound on I-10 when the defendant's vehicle, a white truck tractor, hit a bridge and knocked debris into the roadway. The complainant stated that the debris was knocked into his moving lane of traffic, and he subsequently hit the debris, causing damage to his vehicle. The complainant stated after hitting the debris, a large car suspension spring became lodged under his vehicle. The defendant stated after removing the debris from underneath his vehicle, he then attempted to catch up to the defendant and alert him that his load was falling off and that it was hitting cars. The defendant saw the attempts to be flagged down and ignored them. The complainant stated that the defendant then hit a second bridge and more debris was knocked off of the load. The complainant stated that the defendant attempted to evade the complainant by changing his route. The complainant provided a video recording from his cellular device documenting the second bridge strike and the generally unsafe disposition of the defendant's load. The complainant stated that he followed the defendant for about 7 miles. The defendant eventually pulled over after the complainant and the witness waved their phones at him, pointing to pictures. Upon arrival to the scene, the officers observed the defendant's vehicle and it had obvious piles of debris over the rim of the dumpster trailer.
So, Mr. Galvan, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a CDL? Any conditions that you think are appropriate?
No, that's not Judge. I read if he's eligible.
Okay. Mr. Galvan, do not pick up any new cases, otherwise I will revoke the bond on this case. I'm not gonna put any conditions on you now, but just be careful. Be good out there on the road, especially if you're behind an 18-wheeler. I mean, how large is that vehicle, huh?
I
Just
try my best
don't,
to do that, sir.
just don't say anything, just be careful, you know? You drive something that has what? All right, we're gonna reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm gonna have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then we'll get you out of here, sir. When you come back, please have a lawyer, okay? Please, sir.
All right, Judge, the next is page 14. Gomez, come on up.
Hi, Sammy.
You Matthew Ray Gomez? Mr. Gomez, you're charged with resisting
shirt
arrest.
for court.
You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're gonna do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir. Okay.
2024 officers were dispatched to see a complainant on call located in East County, Texas. The call
The mom and the daughter? Oh, abso-freaking-lutely.
stated that the caller was rambling and refused to answer questions. The caller advised that he had warrants for arrest and wanted police to pick him up before he does something. The caller stated that he will be waiting outside for police.
So he called the cops on himself?
The caller was irate and upset. The caller was making threats towards police, stating that they better be strong because he's going to fight and not to dispatch any female officers. The officers arrived at the scene and immediately noticed the defendant coming out of his house in an aggressive
The judge is
manner.
laughing
The
at him.
defendant took off his shirt and the defendant took off his shirt and hat and was coming towards the officers quickly and was trying to get the officers to physically fight him. The defendant repeatedly stated that he wanted the officers to fight him. Officers immediately drew their tasers and began giving the defendant verbal commands. The defendant repeatedly refused to comply with the verbal commands. To tell the officers to put their tasers away so they could fight him. One of the officers took the defendant to the ground by tackling him and used force to put the defendant's hands behind his back. The defendant was physically resisting and yelling the entire time. The officer then got the defendant into handcuffs and moved him to the side of the patrol vehicle. The officer's partner held the defendant against the patrol vehicle while the officer conducted a search. The defendant was still refusing to comply with
That is exactly how my cats are when I try to put their dresses on every morning.
verbal commands and was physically resisting. The officer then assisted the defendant into the patrol vehicle using a minimal amount of force. The defendant was kicking the officer's leg and still refusing to comply.
I don't understand. He calls the cops on himself and then he resists. I mean, was he under the influence of something?
I don't see that in the.
Mr. Gomez, if I go drug test you right now, what are you gonna test positive for?
Nothing.
I'm sending you now for a drug test. How old are you, son?
Drank alcohol last night.
How old are you? I'm sending you for a drug test and I want you to come back and then we'll talk about getting a lawyer. Do not take off, otherwise I will issue a warrant. You will not get any more PR months. Do you understand?
Yes,
Go take a drug test. We'll have you come back and then we'll talk deeper. All right? Okay. Please, let's have him.
Yeah, I'll sign it.
Yeah.
Are you wanting me to appoint or you're waiting?
You can't, you go ahead and point now.
Okay, go ahead and sign the reset, please. comes Judge Leon, you come back.
Yes, yeah.
All right, Judge, next is page 17. Lopez, come on up.
Wasn't me. Just wasn't me. He looks nice, innocent. Charges dropped. Make
is
them all
Michael there?
feel bad and say it was the dog.
This is not his cell phone? Okay, thanks. Don't worry about it. All right.
Judge, you gotta stop calling
All
me
right, good
during
morning,
my
Mr.
stream.
Lopez. So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow, so you're facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. I see that you do have a lawyer. I was trying to get in contact with your lawyer, but I'm not going to talk to an answering service. I thought it was a cell phone. So we're going to do probable cause, and then we'll just have you take a seat in the back after we're done, and then wait.
Your Honor.
Okay, please.
Hi,
On
Robert.
August 26, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, an officer viewed a crash. A witness stated that the defendant rear-ended him and also sideswiped him, running into his rear driver's side wheel or tire. The defendant observed to have glossy, bloodshot eyes and a medium odor of an alcoholic beverage emitting from the defendant. The standard field sobriety test came back 6 out of 6 for the horizontal gaze test, 7 out of 8 for walk and turn, and 4 out of 4 for one leg stand. DIC was read and the defendant consented to a breath sample, to which it came back 1.77 and 1.61.
So the initial contact was a crash. Okay. Mr. Lopez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a Texas driver license? Do you have liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
You're not allowed to drive unless you have both.
Understand.
I am ordering you, can you run his license, please? I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you.
Your
If
Honor.
I find that you're using, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Now, you have a lawyer. Good job on having a lawyer. So I will waive your appearance. So you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch.
Listen, Marty, it's perfectly fine to be late sometimes, especially on a Sunday. Being late is almost what you should be. Only the cool people are late on Sundays.
With Mr. Pham. He'll tell you when you have to come back to court. For now, I'll have you go to Victoria Center reset. You'll eventually get with pre-trial for your bond conditions, and after that, we'll just have you waiting back for Mr. Pham. Eligible? Great. Thanks.
All right, Judge, page 18. Man, come on up.
If you're early, then people will think you're eager, and they won't like that. But if you're late, then people think that you don't care about them, so they work harder to get your attention. See, I mean, you're always hooking.
This case is 1,303 days old. A lawyer today. Mr. Mann, do you have a lawyer today? Take a seat for me in the jury box. Moving on up.
This is page 21, Nava
Mr. Nava, you're charged with driving on a suspended license. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On January 5th, 2024, that changed lanes when it was unsafe and crossed a silent white traffic line to try and get back onto the freeway. The gray Infiniti drove onto the shoulder of the road to get back onto the 610 freeway. The vehicle's registration was expired on September 2023. The officers then conducted a traffic stop. The defendant stated he did not have a valid driver's license. The defendant's driver's license expired in 2012 and was suspended in. The defendant stated that this was due to child support.
Mr. Nava, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a lawyer here with you today? Your case is 250 days old. I'm going to appoint your lawyer today. We figure out what happens today, sir. Take a seat for me in the jury box.
Right, Judge, page 1, Foster, come on up.
I absolutely did not. No.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Ms. Foster. All right. Sure. It is 252-5983.
82.
252-5983. Ma'am, you are charged with disorderly conduct. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay.
On August 25th, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was dispatched to an aggravated assault type of call. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with the defendant, who matched the description of the person discharging a firearm into the air. Multiple witnesses stated that the defendant discharged the firearm into the air in a public parking lot with lots of people in a business with people and children inside. The witnesses stated that the defendant fired over 6 rounds into the air after a large altercation happened in the business. Multiple shell casings of 45 The witnesses described the defendant as a black female wearing a gray long dress and gray makeup.
Any alcohol allegation? What time of day? What time of night? Stop, please. You know, what you need to understand is what goes up must come down. What goes down ricochets. And if you hit and kill someone, guess who gets charged with murder? Guess who's looking at a life sentence at that point? You need to be careful what you're doing, because there's always ramifications. There's always consequences to behavior. And even if you didn't intend it, you kill someone, you're the one that's going to be charged with, at the minimum, manslaughter, like this other person here on the news yesterday. And then you might plead to 30. So I'm now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? If I find that you have any weapons whatsoever, I will put you in jail. I will do everything in my power to protect Harris County and every single person in it. And if that means locking you up, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yeah, may I respond?
Yes, sir.
We have, and I am in the process of presenting the state with the list of witnesses I'm going to subpoena the video footage to show that you know, this defendant did not have a weapon, did not discharge a weapon. There was an individual who did discharge a weapon, as well as a second individual, a male who discharged a weapon. And we're gonna get you the coach who was there, who would testify that this witness did not discharge a weapon.
Stop
as
talking
well
about the
as
case.
we will get you the video footage to show that.
Sure, I wasn't there. Like, I don't know. All I know is that when you fire a gun, if you fire it up, the bullet's got to come down somewhere. If you fire it down, it's going to ricochet and whoever knows which position it goes. But if it hits and kills, you're on the hook. Because now they think it's you. Even if it's not you, you're going to have to spend money on a lawyer. You're going to have to spend money on investigative fees. You're out $20,000 right then and there. You know what I mean? So be careful. All I'm saying now is just no weapons. That's all I'm asking you to do, and don't pick up any new cases. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it's your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Jones. He will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I will not give you any PR bonds, and I don't care what you're kicking and screaming and it was somebody else's fault. You understand? I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond condition. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go, man. Thank you, counsel.
All right, guys. It was late, but we made it through. We made it through another stream. Thank you so much for coming out so late. Sorry. But I won't be late tomorrow because I don't work a double today. I only work a single shift. Oh, man. It was so nice to meet Donald's daughter. That was amazing. And Chuck came in today. That was amazing. Thank you, Fozzie. I wonder what Victoria wanted to say. Man. Yes, thank you, mods. Thank you so much. I'm going to try to get that tree thing cut down into a manageable, because it's really good. And see if we can't do that tomorrow. Well, guys, have a good Sunday. Relax. Citizen, our thoughts are with you all day. I hope you do well today. I hope everything goes as planned. I got a chainsaw. I got a chainsaw, but I'm not going to use that today. I'm going to try to get this tree video. And then tomorrow when I have off, I'm going to cut down some trees. And I already decided I'm going to cut down the trees, and they're not big. So the logs are going to be very tiny. And I'm going to take all my bricks out of the front. I'm going to put the little logs down, and then we're going to make like a big fairy garden out front and out back. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good stuff. My yard's gonna be so pretty. All right. Yeah. Be careful with the chainsaw. No. I'm gonna be like a 16-year-old boy with that chainsaw. I'm gonna have to replace a fence or two. Power line's gonna be gone. If I'm not streaming tomorrow, I cut down the whole telephone pole, power lines, and everything. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Got these lights that cause digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Freedom tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Her eyes mirror sky so blue. In her jokes, there's a truth so true. With each string, she brings the light, turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm.